Hello and welcome to my place. Isn't this marvellous? I love being out in the garden. It's Labour weekend for me here in New Zealand, and that is my indicator that I need to get my garden and my beans into the garden so that come Christmas we can be eating fresh garden beans. Now last year I was very frugal and we had some lovely beans, and I saved those beans and took the seeds out. Aren't they just gorgeous? It's a little bit like Jack and the Beanstalk, but aren't they just fabulous? So they've all dried off and I've kept the name of what they are, and they're actually called Viv's beans because I actually can't remember its proper name. But what I need to do with these now is to just help them with the germination. I've got a little bit of water here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to soak those for probably 24 hours until they're nice and soft, and then I'm going to plant them into a seedling tray, and then when they get to a certain height I'm going to put them into a pot. Now a little tip, the reason why I'm soaking these is, see those little floaters on the top there? They may not do anything. So by soaking them, if they continue to just float, I'll know that they may not be any good. So a little bit of time now means that you'll have the perfect beans in a few months' time. Right, once they have soaked, I put them into a seed tray, and what I've done is I've cheated the process because I wanted to get on to show you what they look like. These are about 3 weeks old, so it didn't take long for them to grow up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those from this little tray here and I'm going to put them into a bigger pot. And I've decided this year, because I don't have very much out room, I've got enough up room to start putting these around nice pots so that, like, to topiary them, so that I've got something that visually looks good for me. So from there, what we need to do is to get a pot. One moment. Here's my pot, and what I've done is I've put a few stones. You could use some broken up crockery if you've got it, or terracotta pots. Put that into the bottom. Sometimes I like to use scoria, but at the moment we've got no scoria, but I did have some stones, so I thought they would do. Now you need to, or even if you've got something like this, an old block thing like this, you could just put that into the bottom. That's just to actually add to the drainage, because like you and me, we don't like wet feet either to plants. Right, just a good 2 inches down the bottom of there, and then you need to put in some soil. Now I've got some lovely mulchy soil here, and I'm just going to push that into there, put that into there. And if you, I do have to keep going on about this, but look, if you've got any sort of lung issues, or you're not well, you've got cuts on your hands or anything like that, do please wear gloves, because you can become very, very unwell. And if you're buying your compost or your garden mix from the supermarket, you'll notice on the back of it, it's got a warning. That warning is there for a reason. Right, from there, what I need to do is to just smooth that out like so. And then what I've got here is one of these frames, and because they're climbing beans, it actually needs something to climb over. So push that into there, right down into the bottom like so. And then very carefully, I have to take my gloves off, because the word about now getting them from here into here is to do it very carefully. And I like to say to people that any kind of little plant is like a baby, so don't be rough with it. Right, from there, just going into here, like so. Look how it's got its little roots there, indicate that it's ready to go into the ground. So just into here, and then push that into there, and very gently just push that into there. And I'll bring another one over to the other side. And I think I might have room for possibly 3 into here. And then we'll bring that other one there and put that over and into there, like so. Dig a bigger hole, push that down. Now, as that grows up, what I'll do is I'll train that to grow up these little supports here, and I'll just use a little bit of string or something to just tie those and to keep them in position. These are not going to take long to come up to starting to fruit, and as I've said before, I get terribly thirsty, and so do the plants. So just keep the water up to those. And when I first put them into a pot like this, I just pour it in until the water comes out the bottom. Now keep it watered well, and keep it in a nice warm sunny place. Plants like warmth, and they will be up in no time at all. So we'll keep an eye on these, and we'll come back to these another day, and I might even be able to find you a nice bean salad recipe. See you again another day. Thanks for calling.